Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's January 6th today, and this is a little bit different of a video. First of all, I hope hope and wish that everybody had a great and safe and happy new year. Here in Minnesota, it has been cold. It's been dancing, actual air temperatures where I'm at, which is about an hour north of the Twin Cities. Actual air temperatures have been consistently dancing over the last probably week and a half or so. Since right after Christmas, they've been dancing right around 15 to 30 below zero, depending on daytime and nighttime. And then the wind chills have been, anywhere from minus 20 to minus 50 below. So it's been cold. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my fluorescent lighting is barely warming up to come on and give us light. So anyways, the purpose of this video, this is kind of a video by request. Somebody had reached out and asked about, they're a new Case SC owner, and they asked if I would do a video on all of the lubrication points, engine, clutch housing, transmission, hydraulics, and things of that nature. Now, I have an early SC. Mine is the first year production, 1941. That's also got the center exhaust, which was only made, the first 2388 were only built with center exhaust. So I do not have hydraulics. I do have a motor lift system, which is like a cultivator lift. So that does have a lubrication point on it as well. But I've got some screenshots of the service manual that I have, which I always recommend to people that, get tractors and, get at the bare minimum, get a parts manual and a service manual, because they're going to help you immensely in servicing and working on your tractor. If you can, or if you want to, you can get an operator's manual as well, if you just like to know how everything works on the tractor. But definitely I highly recommend getting the service manual and the parts manual for the tractors. But I'm going to go through and kind of show the different lubrication points on my tractor, which should be all SCs from 1941 to, let's see, when did they come out with hydraulics? I want to say mid to late 40s, 46, 48, somewhere in that range. But I'm going to go through the lubrication points on the tractor, and then I've got screenshots of the service manual for the later models that show the different locations for the same or added on features for the tractor. So let's go ahead and get dressed and head outside. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead. I brushed off some of the tractor here, and it's probably about 10 below right now, so I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as possible. I can't wear gloves because I can't work the camera and everything, but we'll start from the front to back, coolant, engine, transmission, etc. So the coolant fill is obviously right here, right on top of the radiator, and the drain is underneath. If you look below the water pump, there's a lower tube that comes for the coolant return back into the engine, and the drain for that is right underneath that tube inside here. There's this little, it almost looks like a grease zerk, but that's your plug for the bottom of or I should say the drain plug for the coolant. And the coolant capacity is 4 gallons. Your engine oil, the manual calls for straight 30 weight oil, depending on the outside temperature. You know, you can run it all the way up to 10 weight. I run 15W40 Rotella diesel oil in all my tractors, but we get pretty cold temps, as most of you know, up here in Minnesota. So the engine fill is here, and then your level plugs are here. So you would fill to the top level plug. If you were running kerosene or distillate, every so many hours you would drain down to the lower level and then refill with fresh engine oil to the top plug. Now the Case SC does have a wet clutch, so there's a port that automatically, you know, shares oil with the clutch system in the tractor. And when you do your oil changes, this plug here is what you use to drain your clutch system. You don't have to fill the clutch system because it will automatically share. But what I tend to do is I'll fill it with 5 quarts. It holds 5 quarts. And then I will run the tractor for, you know, 10-15 minutes, shut it down, and then check the level again to make sure we're still up to that full mark. When you drain your engine oil, I always recommend pulling your oil pump screen and cleaning it. That's a very important piece, especially if your tractor does not have an oil filter assembly. Most of your SCs, earlier SCs, do not have an oil filter, so this is the only thing that filters your oil. Moving back from there, we have the transmission. So your transmission fill plug is on the back side of the transmission. Now this is different from the early series to the later series with hydraulics. Without hydraulics, your fill plug is right here. It's a large 1-inch square plug. On tractors equipped with hydraulics, it's on the left side, and the hydraulic fill is right next to that. The drain for the transmission is right here. It's kind of, I would say, about 6 inches back from the belt pulley and down. So that's where your drain for the transmission is. The end, or the transmission level, fluid level plug is here. If you can see, there's a small square plug here. That's your fill level plug. The transmission holds about 10 3/4 gallons of 80-90 weight. My tractor is equipped with a motor lift or a cultivator lift. It's a mechanical lift mechanism that's driven off the PTO. The fill for that is right here, right underneath the motor lift pedal. I don't know the actual capacity, but I know that you just fill to the level plug and then put the plug back in. The drain for the motor lift is here. Now again, tractors equipped with hydraulic systems are much different. The fill and drain plugs, or the fill plugs and oil level plugs, are here. On the left side versus the earlier models with just the motor lift or no motor lift, it's on the right side. Also, tractors equipped with hydraulics, the system holds about 9.5 quarts of SAE 10 to SAE 30 oil, depending on what the temperature is. The thinner the oil, the colder the temperature. Motor lift, that just uses your standard transmission fluid, 80-90 weight oil. One last thing that I do want to cover on these, a lot of people have asked where the serial number is. It should be on this plate on the dash. And the way that you tell the year of your tractor, you take the first 2 numbers on an SC, subtract 4, and that'll give you your year. So mine is 45 minus 4, which will give you a 1941. Now, if that tag is missing, you can go to the left side or the carburetor side of the tractor, and directly behind the air cleaner in the engine casting or the engine block casting, where it bolts to the transmission, it is stamped vertically into the side of the engine block here. You probably won't be able to see it, and a lot of times these are filled with paint or dirt and grease, so you have to take a wire brush and really look for it. But it is stamped in here 4501960. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Anybody looking at buying a Case SE or who currently has a Case SE. Again, there's a lot of production changes for these models. Best bet is to get a service manual and a parts manual, and that's really the best way to ensure that you can do everything on your tractor properly. So I'm going back inside. My hands are freezing and it is cold. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.